I don't know. Well, can I edit the video? Let me see if I can edit it while I'm doing this. All right, all right, all right. Come on, can I edit the video now? Oh, no. Okay, live. Okay, great. No, that's not me. Should be able to do it now. What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, let's see if we can go straight to the video. Let's see if we go straight to the video, y'all. I hope y'all are tuning in. Let's see if I was trying to get this live chat back on board. Those that are listening and tuning in right now. Hold on one second. Let me go back. Can I go back? Okay, let's go back. Hopefully the live chat came up. If it didn't come up, gosh. Alrighty, I guess the live chat did not come up. I don't think the live chat came up. Okay. All right. Well, if there's no live chat, let me see here. Okay. Wait a minute. I don't need this. All right. Well, I don't have a live chat, family. I don't have a live chat, but it's all right. We're just going to go with the flow, but you will be able to call in. You will be able to call in and do your thing. You will be able to call in, and let me just make sure I send this link to my sister, and we can make it happen anyway. How you doing? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? It's all right. You'll be able to call in. I'll give them the call-in number momentarily. We'll get the call-in number momentarily. So I just want to get my sister in. We're going to send this email to her so we can get her in here. In the meantime and in between time, don't forget my book is on sale. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. And let me see. we're going to have to, let me just send her the link right now. And also my children's book, Numbers Are Simple, Our Children's Health is Important, is also on sale. Do I want to close this tab? Yes, I do. And let's get right into it. Now, for those that are watching and tuning in, hey, how y'all doing? Happy New Year, Happy New You. I just sent the link to my sister. I'm going to pause this for a second, mute it because I want to make sure all the sound is right. Um, and let me see here if I can make sure that she is going to be in. As you can see, the topic is sibling side chat, grandparents love versus parents love, and more. Let me send it to you. You know, you didn't send the link. Check now. Okay, there she is. She's coming in. My sister's coming in. I think I can hear. You can hear me?
I can
What's
hear
up? What's up? What's up, sis? How you doing? How's everything?
you. How are you?
Good, I'm good, I'm good. I am going through a few technical difficulties, but it's all right. The chat was disabled, but I'm gonna have to deal with that after we finish. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
everything is all right.
Everything's good. I was about to doze off because you was taking forever.
Oh, now I'm taking forever. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, nah. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. That's what it was. I got some technical difficulties here. And usually the chat, you'd be able to see the chat and all that kind of stuff, but it's been disabled for some reason. But I'm going to check that after I finish. But people will be able to call in
Okay.
and say a few things and do a few things. Let me check over here. Let me see. I'm going to put the call in name, rename it if they want to call me. I'm going to call in number will be near my name so people can call in and join the conversation. But don't call in yet until we ask you to join the conversation, please. First, and then I want to introduce you properly. Those who don't know who you are and what you represent. Okay, there's the call-in number from there. Matter of fact, I can probably rename your thing and put your call-in numbers near to you too. Yes, I can. But that's good. So people will not get it twisted. 745 68 28. So yeah, we got the call-in number there. You also great. So y'all see the call-in number, people. The number is 347-745-6828. That's 347-745-6828. There will be no chat because the chat has been disabled, but do not call in yet. We're gonna ask people to call in probably at the bottom around 9 o'clock because we're starting a little late. We would have started at 8 o'clock. Hold on one second. Let me mute something. Hold on. Hey, what's up? You can hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Good, good. All right, great. So, so far, 8 people have come in so far.
Okay.
To first, let me introduce who you are. Just want to remind everybody this is a child-friendly program, so please be respectful. And want to big up, of course, my sister on my daddy's side. She's in the building. Empress K is in the building, and she's one of my baby sister. I am the oldest, so a lot of people don't even know that. And she's a potential and growing entrepreneur. she's she loves to help people. She loves the service. She's a Libra spirit. So this should be very interesting as we are talking about the topic of today is grandparents love versus parents love and more. So, how they treat parents, how parents treat how our parents treated the grandchildren and vice
Right.
versa. And whatever. So,
Right.
yeah, how you been, sis? What's up?
I'm good. I'm good. Good. I'm good. Got a lot of things
Okay.
out the way today, but I'm good otherwise.
Oh, you got a lot of things out the way.
Yeah.
Um, what you been up to? What's up?
Nothing much. Working pretty much, trying to stay healthy, trying to stay fit. So I'm starting
I
the gym soon. Got to get a little pounds off. New year, new me, summertime coming. It's the ritual.
There's a ritual behind this. Okay.
Normal ritual, every year ritual. I'm gonna do it this year. Yeah, that type of thing, ritual.
Okay. So there is a ritual to all of this stuff. I didn't know.
That's everyday ritual.
I
Every
did
year
not.
ritual today.
There is a ritual to this stuff. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. No, now wait a minute. Look like get out of here. My chat is back on. So I see my chat is back on. So is my chat on? Anybody that's in the chat right now, can you see? If you can hear me, say what's up. Say nah. Press one if my chat is back on, please. Please, I might have to. Yeah, let me see if my chat is on. Press one if you can see the chat. If you can see the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Press one. Anybody, press one, press one, press one. Okay, y'all can hear us. Great. All right, so the chat is on. Oh, the chatty patty is on. Oh, stop playing. Okay, great. Boom. Now, thank y'all very much. Thank y'all very much. I'm here with my little baby sister, one of my baby sisters. I got all my sisters are my baby sisters.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Because I
Because
am
you
the
are the
eldest.
oldest.
Yes, I am the oldest. That's right. And today is a topic. This is our debut together on the air. And boom, siblings side chat is on the air. Grandparents love versus parents love. And guess what? Y'all are more than welcome to call in to chime in on something like that. You will be on air. Just want to let y'all know that. So don't come in if you ain't expecting to be on air. We will put your backside on air because that's what we do. And of course, my sister here is lovely Empress K, and she's been doing her thing. We've known each other all of her life.
Pretty much. All
Pretty much
44 of it. Thank you.
all 44 of it. Yeah, like you telling your age. Go ahead. Some women are afraid to tell their age.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
That's right. We look good for 44 and above. So now this is an interesting topic because you chose this topic after I sent it to you. Very interesting topic because I find that I think grandparents' love has been very different than parents' love. And many of you out there that have experienced that, let's say your mother treated your children different than how you was treated. I
Right.
noticed my mother have treated my children differently than she treated me, where if my children broke one of her plants, she won't do what she did to me, but she will just talk to them and make sure they don't do it again. And I guess this is some type of redemption that they have to go through. There's some redemption when you have more. When you're having when the grandchildren manifest, there's some type of redemption that they're looking towards in some
Correct.
form of fashion because of how a lot of our parents were hands on
Right.
with us. So they was
Right.
basically learning. So when grandchildren come into play, guess what? There's a second time
In a
to
second
do
chance.
it.
Right. Right.
What do you say to that, Empress?
I don't disagree. I think that grandparents, that's their second chance to
Hmm.
get it right, because what will we the test dummies or whatever, that's what I'm going to call it. We were test dummies, but I feel also that they have something that they, for me, I'm going to say my mom and her grandkids, my different, it was different. She, especially my firstborn, she loves my firstborn, and the way that she treats her was, or is, totally different than how she was with me.
Mm,
More loving, more caring. She's a little bit more there, a little bit more hands-on than
mhm,
she was with me. So I feel like this is her
mm,
second chance to actually get it right, you know, um, get things right that she couldn't get with me, or
mm.
she didn't get with me. So,
But how do you feel about that? How do you really feel about
okay, so
that?
let me
It's all
let
right.
me really
It's
sit
all
up for
right.
this one. Let me really feel it. So, I'm half. I'm half because I'm like, this is her grandkid. This is like,
Mhm,
you know, I'm half. The other half is like, well, what happened? Like, why couldn't you do the same for me?
mhm,
As for me, as of right now, this is, like when I was pregnant with my daughter,
mhm,
what I said was, I would write in my journal or whatever, and I would say, this is the things that I'm not going to do. This is the things that I am going to do, and I feel when my daughter, or any of my kids for that matter, have kids, I'm going
mhm,
to love them the same way that I have loved them. You
mm,
know, um, I'm not going to do anything different.
mhm,
This is just how I feel. I don't think that, although my oldest was my experience, like, you learn from there, and so my other two, I was able to go ahead and do things differently. My love was still the same regardless,
mm,
and I think my
mm.
love is still going to be the same when they start having kids.
Mm, mm, mm.
you
And
know
would you say that it's important that you let them not keep any secrets from them? Because what I found over the years is that a lot of course, we share the same father with different mothers. However, but the father and the mother side kept a lot of secrets, especially the old Caribbean people, because both of our family are from Jamaica slash
right.
Cuba, whatever. But they kept a lot of secrets. And I remember daddy saying to me and my sister Nicole and my mother that, we was hands on. We didn't know nothing about children or raising children. We were still young people finding our way, especially coming to America and all that, like the
Right.
movie Coming to America. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So coming to America. So they was all hands on. They was just learning along the way. And I believe their parents was the same way and their parents before that. So cycles continue to go on. Me personally, with my children, I definitely made it a point to always say I love you to them or never
Correct.
lie to them, because
Correct.
Certain Caribbean people's love, especially the old school, their love is like they have to do for you. They did enough, them get you out warm, them give you food, them give you clothing, and
Right.
that's all
Right.
love. They probably won't even say I
That's
love
their
you,
love, as
and
opposed
that's
to saying, what, I love you. But for
exactly.
me, I can go to this day, well, not to this day, but I can tell them, listen, I love you, regardless. Like, I can say the word to them,
Mm,
as opposed to saying, hey, take this, or here, this is what I got you, or, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
For me, I don't feel like their love should be bought. I feel like I should be able to express to them verbally that
right.
I love them without actually giving them here. This is here. This is my token of my love. Like, no, I should be able to come to you and tell you, listen, I love you. Like,
Hmm.
I love you. So, mm,
Usually, and I don't get off the phone without saying I love you.
right.
That's also a very important factor.
Mm,
Now, parents, now that you're a parent, and of course I'm a parent 9 times. You're a parent 3 times. I'm a parent 9 times.
Three
And
times by default. Let's get that right. 3 times by default.
oh, yeah, by default. Okay,
By default.
that's what you said. That's what you.
That's what the twins are. Default. I have no choice in the
By
matter.
default. Okay, she said 3 times by default. She's a comedian. She's a real comedian. Yes, but I understand. As I, I think that we were missing something, and a lot of people would attest to that, especially because at points of our life, our father wasn't there, and have you, and sometimes the mother wasn't willing to share why the father
Father
wasn't there,
wasn't there.
and that usually could cause a rift between one of the parents or the other parents, or just have us wondering, because again they kept secrets. They
Right.
kept secrets. People know me on my station on King Simon Presents that I'm quite transparent about certain things. I ain't afraid to tell, because it's gonna be in my book when the late bell rang. So it's gonna be in my autobiography. So and because a lot of things took place in their past that was harmful to them, they also transferred that harm to us in some form or fashion. Would you say
That
that? Would you
cycle.
agree?
That cycle. Yes. Go ahead.
Right. Hmm. And what do you think that we should do as far as in regards to trying to heal from that?
Honestly, the latter part, when we started like really, really talking, the latter part of last year,
No.
I started I wanted to know more. Like I feel like I've been affected, so I started seeking therapy.
Okay.
Um to figure out like what's going on. Daddy wasn't there, daddy left at 5.
Hmm.
Mommy was here, but mommy wasn't here. I was
Right.
grown by my grandmother, you know.
Right.
So I feel and I have seen where in certain instances what my mother has done, I did to my oldest. My twins have always been with me, but I feel like some of the things that I've done, some of the things that I've experienced are things that my mom has experienced. Now, I can't go to her and be like, hey, listen,
Hmm.
this is what I'm going through. Did you go through the same thing? Or, did you do this? For one, I know I was raised by my grandmother. So I
Hmm.
know that's one thing where I had left my daughter for like maybe 2, 3 years with
Hmm.
her. Oh, you're gonna stay with your granny for a little while until I can get it together.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
um, I don't know what her situation was. Might have been the same, but the mere fact that you left me with my grandmother, you know. But I'm seeking therapy
Okay.
and trying to break the cycle. I don't want my kids to go through some things that I have gone through. So if I can
Hmm.
stop that now through therapy and then try to turn it, that's what I'm gonna do. Or that's what I'm
Hmm.
going to say.
That's and from my point of view, and those that are just tuning in, you're speaking with, you got Sibling Side Chat right here on King Simon Productions, King Simon Presents with Empress K, my biological sister from my daddy's side. And, we share the same father, not the same mother, but still respect and love her mother just as much, because me and her mother we were still happy when she always laughing around me when she see me.
Yes.
Love me God, you know but and of course we're talking about grandparents love and parents love. From my perspective, being raised with my mother predominantly, and then seeking out that male side, because our father's side had more of the men, as far as the cousins and all that. There was a lot more of the men, as far as I was concerned. On my
Right.
mother's side, it was more women. So I didn't to gel with the women unless I needed to be there on holidays and all that. It was much more. I needed to have. They was fun. It was educating. I learned a lot, but I knew that it's something I needed to go somewhere. That's why when when I basically ran away from home between 16 and 17 years of age, I ran straight to Jamaica.
Okay.
I saved up my own money and ran away to Jamaica, West Indies, paid for an open ticket flight. And you know who helped me save that money? Was grandma, was my grandma, dad's mom. She
Right.
helped me save the money so I can have an open ticket. And then she added some more money to it just to make sure my ticket was open for like 6 months. So I
Wow.
stayed out there for 6 months. It wasn't really a runaway, but it was a runaway because we had to get away from my mother and my sister.
Well, you remember I ran away to you and
Oh yeah,
your wife at the time. So I don't
yeah,
know.
that's right. It's like when I was married, yeah, you ran away
Yes,
from us. That's right.
yes.
That's right.
So
So I guess this runaway
the
trend is
runaway train.
this runaway trend is deep, So yeah, we ran away from certain people or certain things. And you didn't have no children then by that time, right? You didn't have
No, I
no.
didn't. I was 16, 17. 16,
Yeah,
17.
and we
I
was
didn't have my oldest until I was 19. So
and my former wife Valda, she was living in the Bronx. We was both living in the Bronx, and we was in the Nation of Islam at that time too.
yeah,
That we was
yeah,
going through that. So and that was quite an experience dealing with my own sister coming in. We couldn't refuse you. We had the bed, we had enough room, and we wanted to make sure you was all right. Make sure
right.
because I don't, I believe family is very important
Important.
regardless of it. And
Right.
I've always kept the connection between finding all of my brothers and sisters and all that.
You
I
do.
had to
You
find,
still do. Yes.
I
Yes.
still keep the connection. There's something about reconnecting. And and I've always been the connector. What's so funny? Queen of Four called me the connector because
Mhm.
she would call me when she needs to reach other elders because they wasn't answering her phone, but they will always answer my phone for some reason. Maybe because they didn't recognize her phone number because her phone number always changed, or she usually called from different numbers.
Mhm.
But elders like Dr. Africa or Dr. Jeffries or certain people, she'll always call me and see if I can get in contact with them. And sure enough, all I had to do is pick up the phone, and I'm in contact with
Yeah,
the
you're
elders.
the connector. You're the
Yeah,
connector.
yeah, there's a connection, and I
Yeah.
think that comes from the love. The before you were born,
Mhm.
the house that we lived on in Prospect and Bookton was the family house. A lot of people lived there. That's where we had family gatherings. That's where Daddy opened up his first nightclub and
Right.
all of that stuff in the back. So everybody lived in the house and then Beverly and them lived up the block. Dawn and your mother and them lived up the block. So everybody lived on this whole neighborhood. And so we had parties, we had events, we were doing our thing. So
Right.
uh, I guess that family feel. And I'm letting the people know because it's important that we recognize why family is so important, as dysfunctional as they
Yes,
may
you
be
are.
sometimes.
Yes.
And we got to realize that a lot of this is inbred through years and years and years, from even going back to colonialism and going back to slavery. But we have the powers to get therapy in some way and break the cycle. I had to go through my own self therapeutic ways and consult elders and not necessarily pay for an official therapist, but I always had these elders around me
Right.
from and these disciplinary organizations from the Ansar Law community, the Nation of Islam, and every one of them had captains and lieutenants that I can always go to and talk to. So they became my therapists because women heal differently than men, and we
Right.
got to recognize that. And
Yeah.
some men are not willing to heal.
Right. Right. Right.
Their egos hold them back. So in this process of you going to therapy and the need to find therapy at this age, right now, you're choosing to make that trip 44 years in now, which is a good number, very good number, because those that going to my numerology stuff, that 4 and that 4 is still the mental health number.
Balance. Yeah.
And it deals with the need to understand the spiritual and the material world on a higher and more structured basis. So I
And
commend you. I
I think
commend
that's
you.
what it was at the ending of the year. Like I'm always, for some reason, I just felt like I needed to seek more. Like I needed to figure out like what's actually going on with me. What's like, why am I acting or have acted this way?
Mm,
Um, but I didn't have anybody to talk to. There was nobody really that I could speak to. I can speak to friends, but it's like I don't want to hear. It's not that I didn't want to hear it, but you know me. I need an unbiased opinion,
Right.
of someone that is going to be like, okay, well, this is what it is, and this was what this could be. I needed more, and I'm still seeking spiritual. I'm still, so I'm trying to just get it together, point blank.
No,
Yeah.
and you will get it together if that's and like I was telling you earlier offline, is about changing the language in your mind.
Right.
You know, changing your language. That's why I listen to constant motivational speakers and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So what we weren't taught by grandparents or parents per se, it's upon us to recognize what we were missing and still find and seek that out, so to
Right.
speak. We had to seek that out because not everybody in our community were willing to go to therapy. A lot of us didn't even understand what therapy is.
That's because some people shun away from therapy. They think it's bad, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Us Black people think that therapy, or some, I should say, let me put it there, think that therapy is bad. Like, no, I don't need therapy, but it's not. You talking out what you feel or what you're going through or whatever with someone that is, like I said, is unbiased, and yeah, they might use their psychology on you, but it's getting it out. You have to get it out instead of keeping it bottled in, and that's where I am right now.
That's good. And believe me, crying is all right. Letting it
Right.
out. And what's so funny, I just did a show with brother Joshua Sarah. Those who don't know brother Joshua Sarah, he has a YouTube broadcast called Vulnerable Black Man, or
Right.
Vulnerable Black Man, where when is it the right time for a man to be vulnerable? And yes, there is a time when we can and should be vulnerable, especially when we feel safe. Because like I said on his show, a lot of women have a bunch of healing circles and we don't have the healing circle because we heal a little bit differently. Again, I had to go and deal with male organizations that had a certain discipline. I needed the discipline. I needed the military discipline. I needed the martial arts. I needed all that. I mean, and big up to one of my martial arts schools here,
I see
Survival.
you. I see you.
Yeah. And I've been training since 1985.
I see
But
you.
from since 1985, I've been seeking therapy.
Right.
How deep it is. It goes back to that time, back into 85. And how old you were back in 85? Or what, like 10,
I was
11?
10.
How old?
I was
Yeah,
10.
about 10 years old. So I was in Islam at that time. I was trying to find myself, and nobody understood why I left. But only one cousin I told. I told my cousin that, look, if I don't leave this neighborhood, I was in Flatbush at that time, and I was doing all kind of craziness. I got kicked out of 2 schools already. Had to go take GED. And I told my cousin, I told my cousin in Canada, I said, either I'm going to be in jail or I'm going to end up dead.
Yeah.
That was it. Matter of fact, that might be the chapter of one of my books, either jail or death. That
Right.
that was the choice I had because I was really acting out, doing craziness at 15, around 15. Although I got knowledge, but so when was with you? When did you recognize that you needed some type of help? It must have been younger than this.
Um, it was. Well, not too much younger. I'm gonna say maybe about maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years. I
Right.
know. Me and my friends would talk, and I'm like, they're like, I'm gonna go to therapy, and I'm like, check and see if they have a 2-for-1 deal because I might need some. So it was a joke, but it wasn't until I'm gonna say about 4 years that I was like really serious. Like something's wrong. Something's wrong somewhere along the line, and I need to fix it. More
Mm,
so last year. So
mm. More
that's
so last year.
more so last year. Like very, very like this is what I need in order for me to go ahead and heal from some of the things that I have gone through. Some of the things that I have done, some of the things that I've seen. Um, that I've done that my mom has done, or what I'm saying. I just more so last year than
Mm.
any other year.
Now, somebody in the chat just said, my brother needs to speak to a therapist, but he won't because of this stigma in the Black community about
Correct.
therapy.
Yeah,
He
because
has,
we feel
he,
like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
he's been through so much that he needs that unbiased opinion. That's what she's saying.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because we feel like, and please, I'm not racist, but the white people can do it. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be,
Right.
oh, John, I'm going to therapy today. You know, but for us, if I'm like, hey, Brenda, I'm going to therapy, like, girl, why you need therapy? Like, you know, what's wrong with you? Just talk, you know, and it's not that you need someone that doesn't really know you. You understand what I'm saying? Someone that's gonna give you that unbiased opinion, that somebody's gonna really actually listen to you. Because after a while, you talking to your girlfriend, you're really not listening. But you know, you really think, what am I gonna eat? Tomorrow's
Mhm.
work. You know, that type of. You need someone that's really going to listen to you. So I, he needs if he needs to, I recommend that he does. And
I
then you
think
have to find a good therapist because not all therapists, you know, are good. I've gone through two so far, and this last one here, I feel like we mesh. We have that
mhm,
ping pong going on. You know,
right.
I throw whatever out there, and she goes ahead and she responds. Whereas the ones before, it was just like okay, you know, I need that feedback. Talk to me. You know,
You-
don't just take notes and just talk to me. So
I think it's become a stigma only because the therapeutic, the people in therapy usually try to, especially when we're young, they're trying to give us drugs. And a lot of parents don't
that's
want us to do Ritalin and all that madness. Because remember, they had special ed back in the day, and those were
right.
people
Remember
that were mentally
the
disturbed.
yellow
Yeah,
bus, the
the
yellow bus.
yellow bus on the banging of their head with a helmet on their head, licking lips,
Exactly, the yellow
whatever
bus.
they were doing, you know. But and they would keep us apart back in the days in the school. They
Right,
used to keep us apart from them people. I know I used to go to PS11
right,
in Brooklyn when I was a child, and that's the school. If people don't know PS11, that's the school of Biggie, Notorious B.I.G. went there, and a few other people. But I wasn't there during his time. I'm way before him.
mhm,
But they had this segment near the lunchroom where they kept them basically in a corner, around the corner from the regular kids and the
mhm,
special ed kids. They had to be around the corner, and it looked like they was like they had to be on medicine or Ritalin or whatever they was on. They went through a lot, and I think that stigma kind of spread throughout the community that they want to give our children and give us drugs to handle quote unquote mental
mental
illness
illness.
or type of
And
trauma.
mental illness is very popular.
Mm,
But when I went ahead and sought out a therapist, I let them know off the rip, listen, I don't need drugs.
right,
I just need somebody to talk to. You know, I am of a sound mind. I just need someone to talk to, you know.
right.
So if that's a way that he can go, express that, listen, I don't need any drugs. I just want to get this out. I want to just talk,
Hmm. Hmm.
because I think
Okay.
there's a difference between therapists and psychologists. One could go ahead and give drugs and the other one can't. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's really, and a lot of this stem from the grandparents
Right,
and passed down through the parents,
right, right, right,
where
right.
we find ourselves needed. Because the way I found out how grandma treated daddy, our father, it was very interesting. I found that especially why he joined the military, why he joined the Marines, is because of her choosing a man over him instead of siding with him. You know what I'm saying? And protecting him. She brought him here. She pressed the papers and got the papers to get him sent to America from Jamaica, when
Right.
he would have rather stayed in Jamaica than come over here. I mean, you're in Jamaica with all this land we had in Jamaica and all this stuff. Why would he want to come over to a four-bedroom box
Right,
in the cold of New York and be tortured by a stepdad?
right,
He already didn't have his own father. A
right.
stepdad also saying, "Yeah, well, look here, man. There's only one man in this a
It's
house, yeah.
both.
So One hour we have to leave. He's telling our grandmother this, like, one hour we have to leave, either him or I, and she
And
settled
she
for
said, Daddy
and
go.
may peace. May she rest in peace. I love her still because that was one of the people that supported. But it's just to show you that these superheroes that we had in our eyes, like the grandparents and the parents, we all have our flaws,
Right, right,
and we all needed to heal from our flaws.
right.
We needed to work on their flaws, and if we did work on our flaws, it would be better for. If it would be better if we understood that, and especially because she was a registered nurse, she
Right,
was a midwife. So in the hospital, you're already seeing these things.
right, right,
And from Jamaica all the way to America, you see these things
mhm,
already. You see the
right.
issues, you see the problems. And from your point of view, how did you think that family should have handled this if they could have at all, even from your mom's perspective and from dad's perspective, or your grandparents' perspective on your mother's side? How
Mhm.
could they could have done something different?
Um, I don't know too much about how my grandmother was. Um,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure if I asked my mom, I probably wouldn't get it all or I wouldn't get the truth.
She's still keeping secrets. Ah, Jesus.
Like
Poor
I
thing.
said, um, as far as my mom is concerned, I did feel where she did put a man over me. Um, I still feel in some instances that she does. I just feel I think that it should be a family sit down or me, you, the man. Listen, so this is this, and this is my for me my child. I can't choose a man over my child,
Right.
and
Right.
and to be even more a little bit more transparent when I said that I felt there's some things that I have or did that my mom has done. Um,
Mhm.
whereas the 2 or 3 years that my daughter did stay with my mom,
Mhm.
I was somewhere else, and I called it getting myself together, but in
Mhm.
all actuality, because when my daughter told me to come home, I said, I'm not ready yet. I was involved with someone else. You know what
Right.
I'm
Right.
saying? And that hurts me because this is something that I said I wasn't going to do, because my mom showed me this. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but now I'm here. I've been with her, and I just feel like child should come first in certain situations.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, I feel like a child should come first. Like there should be no reason why you put a man over your child. This is your flesh and blood. You can
Right.
always get another man. You can always get another man.
Right. Right.
So I don't know.
So, and that's where a lot of healing needs to be taking place, because it's generational, where people might call it generational curses, generational proclivities, whatever new word or whatever you're going to call it, it still exists in the bloodline. Like I've told many people, and I said it at the vulnerable black man with Joshua Sarah. I said, um, my did I say it with him, or I said it somewhere else. I said it at I forgot which forum I said it, but there was a time when I thought about taking my own life, and I've said it on my YouTube channel before.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so interesting is that when it was revealed to our father that I wanted to take my life, he was able to go right to the great grandfather that took his life.
Mm.
So it's in the blood to even want to commit that. And Papa C and the grandfather actually hung himself in a house that was connected to one of our relatives, and he had to be one of the men to take him down off of the rope,
Wow.
the noose. So he experienced that from his own grandfather, because it was his grandfather, which
Right.
is our grandfather, that hung himself.
Right.
And they brought him here, and it was over a situation, of course, um, depression, but also relationship. That's what, according to legend, that's what happened. So it's very important that we find these little things that's going on in our family, find these little weaknesses and try to strengthen, manage our weaknesses and strengthen our strength. So when he said that to me, it clicked. And that's when I started saying, I'm going to fight this.
Right.
I'm not going to let this take over. And that was after the third time I thought about doing it, because the 2 times I didn't tell none of nobody.
Right.
But the third time, third and final time, when I thought about it, when in the nightclub at Temptations, I thought about it, and you'll think me being an MC and being part of the club and having all that fun and acting like I having fun, that I wasn't depressed. I went through depression. Even in the midst of a packed house, I can still be to myself and like saying, why the hell am I here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it stems from things that's in our family that you might even have to look into for your own children, that I have to pay attention to my children and my grandchildren, because it can skip generations.
Right. I haven't I've gotten depressed. I haven't gotten to that point. I didn't, thank God, I didn't go through, or haven't gotten to that point where I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to go ahead and just end it all. You know,
Right.
And
Good.
it was depression over relationships, mostly over relationships, to be honest. Mostly over relationships. Financial situations. Sometimes I find myself a little depressed. But that's why I said I'm glad that I'm kind of a sound mind, that I don't have it in me to actually do it, or
Right.
I haven't. It hasn't even been a thought in my mind to actually go that route. You know, and again, since now you're telling me that this is in our bloodline, it makes me more want to seek help, so that my kids don't go through it. I can help them, you know, mom, I'm depressed, I'm a little whatever, you know, or I can just pick up on the signs of them being depressed. You understand what I'm saying? And try to talk them through it. And mental health is just crazy. It's just rampant. You know, the line of work that I do, basically there's a lot, like every other call so far is like, you know, a suicidal thought, suicidal ideation. And you understand what I'm saying? And it's just crazy. And I don't know, it's something just then has to be done. Again, it stems from, you know, generations. So.
And you know what's so interesting? You know, everybody know here I do numerology or numerovation. And when I did read my great grandfather's name, because nobody know his birthday, but everybody seemed to know his name. It added up to mental frustration numbers. It added up to those numbers that can actually lead towards depression and the thoughts of suicide. So I tell people why I do a lot what I do as far as with numbers, because numbers reveal, it doesn't conceal. Even when I was in the clubs, the numbers would tell me what woman I'm dealing with. Even if she made up a new name, I can tell who she is, what she is, and how to keep. And so when I read the numbers of Granddad, his both names, in both systems, it added up to those numbers, the not the primary numbers of depression or mental frustration, but the secondary numbers of. That's why he did it at such an old age. He didn't do it at a young age. He did it at an old age when he was there on his crutch, with his cane. And he was very much up in the age. He did it when his old age. So, and that's why I'm able to recognize patterns with numbers. Because when I studied my grandmother's birthday, I heard she was checked into a mental facility years ago, and she was born under one of the mental numbers, not our father's mother, my mother's mother. So then I checked out those numbers, and I'm like, man, I mean, it just shows patterns, and that's what numbers reveal to me, is patterns. you know, and people know that I teach on patterns of numbers and recognizing the observable patterns of numbers, but also recognizing the repeatable patterns of numbers and the measurable patterns of numbers, because that's how you prove any scientific revelations or scientific breakdown of anything. Any science got to be able to prove those little basics. And over years, that's what I've seen. And I'm like, wow, you know, and I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention because, you know, it's helpful. That's why make sure y'all get my book. Stop playing. Numbers are simple. People are complicated.
Yes,
And
yes.
the other book, the children's book is Numbers Are Simple. Our children's health is very is important. It's also good for adults. We're also good for adults. So make sure they're on Amazon and Kindle. So yeah. Shameless plug. I'll just let people know that this stuff works, you know. Moving forward now, this people that's just tuning in, thank y'all for coming in, and those that are tuning, I know more people are going to be watching. Make sure you share the video, because I know even the things that we've touched on is going to help somebody along the way, because my sister's gone through therapy in her own way, and I've gone through therapy. Even my sister Nicole, she's gone through home therapy, and people in our family is going through these different therapies, and we need it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said to a friend of mine before, we men heal differently than women. You know, and Dr. Africa used to say that we think diametrically different. So where y'all might be interested in the group, the whole hugging and the whole steaming and all that, our healing might be a little bit different, where we might have to really cry it out. We might have to be amongst men that are real men and not just trying to take advantage of us and bring us into some other crazy cult or something. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where a lot of us have to, our vulnerability we try to protect being vulnerable. That's why Michael Basin, if you remember, wrote a book called Men Cry in the Dark.
Yes, I remember.
He wrote that book. You know, if I could interview him again, because I interviewed him years ago on WWRL radio when I was on a morning show. So, but if I can get to him again, I think I'm going to hit him up. Because I'm going to hit him up either on Instagram and then see if he'll respond to me, because he should remember me. I know he'll remember my sister, and our sister and I used to work on Kiss FM back in the day. So yeah, if I can get Michael Basin on YouTube and let's talk, I think we can get a good dialogue. Even in our show, we can get him right here talking to us. You know, he's all celebrity now, but you know, he's lost a few things, so I think he's a little bit more humble. You know. And that's that losing a job in radio can be humbling. I know I went through losing a job in radio, and that could be humbling. But always remember, you know, your talents will always precede what jobs you may have if you really learn to use your talent. So when I did lose a $60,000 job in radio, I got depressed, yes, but I also said to myself, radio didn't make me, because they brought me here to make their radio station greater. Right. I was one of the people that was just full of energy. And that's what I encourage you to do, because I know your numbers and I know the talent that you can reach, as long as you figure out how many things you want to do, the amount of things, the multiple things that you're supposed to do, which is to help people in multiple ways. So I understand that. So, you know, anything you want to bring up?
And you're trying to bring it out. I know, you sending me some things and I'm like, it's just a matter of getting out there. You know, it's fear, like I told you earlier, it's fear of failing. Yes. And that's like the first number uno on my list. Like, what if I'm not accepted? What if it fails? Like,
this was hard for you to come and do this. It was hard for you
to come. I'm like, oh my God.
So this is the first step past your fear.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. This is the first step. And Farrah Gray, who is a great person to read his books, if you ever get a chance, Farrah Gray, Dr. Farrah Gray. Mm-hmm. He wrote a book called Real-in-There, and he wrote a couple of books, but he also what's so interesting, he said something in his book, and he said something in a couple of lectures. He said, everything you want is on the other side of fear. Everything you want and desire and need and say you want, is on that other side. Once you jump over to that other side, it's like, oh, damn, I didn't know I could get this. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yes,
Yeah.
that's all it is. Because look, you're going to die one day. So you might as well come out of the bleachers and get in the field. Just make sure you do it and do it with integrity and do what you got to do. We're going to fail. We're going to fail. It's all right. I failed a lot of times. Believe I failed in marriage 3 times. I failed in relationships. I failed in the. Am I giving up to do it? No, I'm not giving up on it ever. I'm never going to give up on being with my one of these beautiful black women and just deal with them on a wholesome, growing perspective. I ain't
Right.
going to no white woman. I tried a Japanese woman back in the day, but that was just to have
Did
fun.
you?
I have fun to tell it. I did try. I did Spanish, but I ain't tried a European. I almost got there. Almost went there because I was working in the clubs at that time. Almost got one, but when I
What had
when I
happened was, go
no,
ahead.
I'm gonna tell you when I finally got that person to my house, I forgot that I had on my wall Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Minister
Wow.
Farrakhan.
Okay.
So I looked at all these people on my wall and said, "You gotta leave." And 2 o'clock in the morning, I walked this white woman back to the train station. I was in Park Slopes. I was living in Park Slopes. Matter of fact, I was living too far. I was living on the same block with Foxy Brown at the time because me and
Okay.
Foxy was friends. And I walked her back to the D train so she could get her ass back into Manhattan. And I just wanted to make sure that was so fun. So I didn't want them. I never dealt with a white woman like that. So
I haven't gone white yet. I've done Spanish, and of course, our black men, but I haven't done white yet.
no. I ain't doing
No.
white. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. If you white people are watching me, guess what? I don't like them light, bright, or white. I'm sorry. No, I'm joking. I'll take a light skinned woman, but I wouldn't go to the white. No. I can't. No, I can't. I can't. That's just, look at this skin. Are you serious? This skin amongst white. Look at this. This just don't make sense, you know. White walls back here. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Don't forgive me. I'm not gonna say forgive me, but hey, some of y'all white women be trying to chase me down back in Canada and all that. And I didn't do it. I didn't. In Canada, they tried to give me a cigarette in my mouth. Try to put a cigarette in my mouth. I said, no, I don't like them that way. No, you can't put no cigarette in my mouth in front of this club in Canada back in. Oh, hell no. My cousin, my cousin came by me and pushed by me and said, "What you doing? You can't be messing around with my cousin." Big up to my cousin Shireen in Montreal, Canada. She was like a diva in the disco era. Disco got burnt, of course, thrown away. But but yeah, so and what's so funny about that is that pops always come up with something like, one of your great grandmother was white. I'm like, why are you bringing somebody who infiltrate?
My
That was an
great great
infiltration.
grandmother was white with blue eyes.
That,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
on your mother's side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
My
and he
great
would
great.
say that. I said, okay, just because she had jungle fever back in that day, don't mean we came out this way. Come on, man. That just shows me how much they care about those infiltrators and those colonists coming in
Mm-hmm.
to infiltrate the family. Everybody's always trying to find everything other than what they are.
They are.
Look, I'm 3 part Indian, me
I have
2 part.
Cherokee in my family. I'm Cherokee. I have Cherokee.
Yeah,
My
you,
Cherokee.
yeah,
Cherokee.
yeah, yeah, Bandulu. That's what you is, a Bandulu, a Dankro. I'll just say it. All that they try to dig so deep to find this European in their house,
Right.
in their family. I'm like, why are you trying to dig that deep to find some European person?
Right.
I have to tell them, like, come on, pops, please don't do that to me. I don't know who that white woman was. You don't know who she was either. You was a child. You just went to a funeral. Because your father came out darker than
I
me.
know.
So that's you can't even. Obviously, it didn't infiltrate. It didn't work. So it's just like when I was young in Canada. I was a child. They tried to put Jerry curls in my head. My hair was not having no Jerry curls. It just keep on popping back
I
the
can't
curls.
even imagine you with Jerry curls.
Yeah,
Oh
it was crazy. I
no.
tried. Yeah, they tried to put Jerry curls in my head, and they kept me in there for at least an hour. And my hair, when he washed it out, it
Mhm.
just went right back to my kink, the
Yeah.
original kink.
Mhm.
You had to leave me in there for at least 24 hours if you wanted to get Jerry curls. I never forget that. All this drama gonna be in my book, y'all. It's gonna be in my book called When the Late Bell Rang. That's the name of my book. It's gonna come out when I'm in the next, let me see, I'm 52, in the next 3 years, when I'm 55, 56, that's when it's gonna come out. Yeah, that's when it's gonna officially come out. Because a psychologist said it's usually best to get your autobiography right out around the 55 mark, 56 mark. So yeah, I'm working on that. That's gonna be it's gonna be funny as hell, believe me, but it's gonna be all true. And I will conceal the names so those that are guilty of the bull crap, I will be concealing names and giving you all kind of abbreviations and other titles.
SBNR. Yeah, yeah,
You're gonna have to guess.
you know who you are. Yeah, you do. You do.
You're gonna have to guess by the stories I tell. So it is what it is. She said,
Yeah.
"Oh man." All right, so matter of fact, we've been on for an hour, which is interesting. Okay,
Really
good.
already?
Yeah. We've been on for almost an hour. We almost finished with it. So we're not gonna stay long, family. Just wanted to share this sibling side chat with you to see how me and one of my siblings actually interact with each other and how fun it is. I hope y'all enjoyed her and I.
Yes.
And when her business start popping, we gonna start clocking. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna make sure we're gonna form a few businesses. We got some family stuff to talk about because if I'm the one that can lead the charge, hey, I'm gonna make it happen
Yes.
because I
Yes.
really I know my sister's talent. I know all of my siblings' talents as long as they're willing to pursue their talents. By knowing numerology or my numerovation system, which is in the Urban Dictionary, by the way. So by knowing what I know and being able to guide people out there by getting a session done, you're more than welcome. I said I can allow calls, so if people wanted to call in, they're more than welcome to call in. We could take probably 2 or 3 calls. The number here is 347 745 6828. That's 347 745 6828. If you want to call in and talk to us, you're more than welcome to do it. I'm gonna just do two or three calls before we get off because I don't, our people's attention span is real short, so I don't want to mess up anybody.
Real little. Real little.
Real when if you Google people's attention span in this day and time is like 20 to 15 minutes. That's the attention span. I see why TEDx only do 19 to 20 minutes lectures. I see why they do that. And I understand. And I analyzed and I said, why are they doing these 18 to 19-minute lectures? I said, people's attention span is
Like,
just that much, you know?
the other day I said to my son, I said, this time try to give me like A's. I just want A's, and he was like, Mom, you asking for a lot. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, I said, what you mean you're asking for a lot? I'm asking for a lot. And he said, yeah, my attention span is not that long. So, so our attention span is like real short, After a while, if it doesn't really catch you, you're off of it. You're done.
And that's where that's where schools got to learn to adapt.
Right.
That they may need to cut down the classes, do multiple classes, and just have 15 to 20-minute classes.
Right.
I would do that.
Or half an hour. Either way, but shorten it a little bit because
then throw the tests and the exams at them. Because my son today, my son's teacher texts me, and I made sure because the mom is fed up. So Janelle is fed up. The mom is fed up. So she said that's one of my children's mother. Matter of fact, for my last son, he's 13. To let everybody know. He's 13 years. Yeah. He'll be 14 in February. So his teacher texted me and said they are taking an exam and this boy has not. JD has not. They call him JLB because of the name, the initials. So right. JLB has not taken. Somebody's calling in. Somebody take some. Yeah. Hold on, please. Hold on. Turn down your radio, and I'll talk to you. Hold on first before I put you on. Hold on. my son had the nerve not to want to take the test, and I said, I said, put him on the phone. I called him and said, put him on the phone. I gave him the riot act, broke it down, boom, 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 tell him to play chess and not checkers. And sure enough, the teacher texted me back and said, I don't know what you said, but he
took the test.
finished his exam and did very well in it. And I just, that's it. That's all. But let's go to the phone lines. Turn down your radio if you want to talk to us. Hello, who are we speaking with? Hello, who are we speaking with?
Hello, this is Tanisha.
Hey, how you doing, sister? I want to make sure we can hear you. How you doing?
I'm good, y'all.
Yes.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I kind of came in late on the lecture, but I did hear you asking a little bit about family and fear. So.
Okay. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I grew up with a narcissistic mother, and I've been married to a narcissistic man for like 20-something years.
Wow.
Yes, and I'm still in this mess trying to get out. So
Wow.
I had a lot of issues with my mom. And what was so funny is that when I was hearing your sister talk, it's like you try your best not to do things like them, and you end up doing things exactly like them and don't realize it.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. And when I was doing like my shadow work and stuff,
yes,
I realized that every situation I got into was exactly my mother.
Now, hold on. Explain shadow work so people will understand what shadow work is, because I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Well, for me, it was dealing with those inner things of fear.
Yes.
I always had fear, and I remembered a lot. And where my fear came from was remembering things that happened to me as a little girl. Like I've been with my husband for like 20-some years now, and I noticed his behavior after he actually introduced me to consciousness, which is crazy.
Wow.
It's like him introducing me to it revealed my relationship with him. Yeah. And then it took me back to when I was molested, when I was a little girl, and how he actually paid me.
What?
To molest me. Yeah.
Whoa.
And I didn't realize how much that affected me in my adult life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and you're still healing from this, obviously. Yes.
Yeah, because it's like I feel like I was going through this reality, a zombie. Yes. When I awoke into consciousness, I was like, what was I doing? Like, I was so amazed at the same time, and like not even understanding, like where was I? Like what was my, like I was sleeping, going through all of this stuff, which is so crazy. It's like I'm kind of like isolated right now.
Of course.
And I don't really have a lot of people to tell them my experiences of what I'm going through. And it's just, it's like, it's so crazy.
Well, now let me ask you a question. When is your birthday?
March 29th, 1976.
March 29th, 1976?
Yep.
Wow, you're born under the master number 11. Yes, that's a very powerful number, because 2 + 9 is 11. That's a very powerful number to carry. And usually y'all go through a lot of deceptive things in your past and in relationship with people throughout your family and all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting. And have you gone through therapy or went through any past life, not just past life, but traumatic detoxes?
No, I haven't. I had actually reached out to one of the ladies you had.
Okay. Who? Queen Need?
I don't. Yeah, you had her on.
Yeah. Was it Priestess Yendez or Yendez?
Yes, Yendez.
Okay,
yes,
okay,
I reached
okay.
out to her.
Good, okay,
Yeah,
good,
I
okay.
reached out to her. Yeah, because I already know counseling is a big thing because with my mom,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's like fully narcissist or she has traits of it, but she's very controlling. And like when I was young, I started hearing y'all talk about words and how, like I started hearing them saying like words. When people say things, they curse you with their words.
Yes,
right.
yes.
And when I was young, they always used to tell me, they always used to say I was like my mother, and my mother always used to do that to me too. You know, tell me I was like her. My father's family would always tell me I was like her. And I kept trying to figure out where these two parents, biological parents, might come from. And I kept noticing that my mother kind of acts like she maybe between the ages of 5 and 6. And my father's for like between 6 months and maybe 2 years.
Wow.
And they're thinking. And that is what brought me to learning or about narcissism.
Okay. Okay. Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, you're on a journey, sis. You are on a journey for real. You're on a, you should be writing about it. Are you writing? Have you been journaling about all this you're going through?
I haven't been, but I know it's in me. I want to take a writing class.
It is.
And because it's almost amazing to me. It's like even with learning the things that my husband did. Like I've been with him for 20 years, and I know that he doesn't love me. He needs me. But he doesn't love me.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where the narcissism comes from.
Right. That's where the narcissism
they
comes from.
want.
Yes.
They need you for whatever they need you for.
Right. I not to interrupt you. Funny thing is that I felt like I was dealing with a narcissist myself. And there's so many different narcissists. I think there's the covert and there's some other things, but I found him to be a covert, which they basically feed on your attention. Like they need like their ego boost. I'm gonna say that, you know what I'm saying? And he was, King, I was telling you about that earlier, when I gave you those or whatever, but I felt like he is a covert narcissist. And it's all about him and his selfishness and what he needs and what he wants. You understand what I'm saying? You couldn't love me or be in love with me. You're in love with what I give you, so that's something that, you said, I know you came on earlier and you said that, you're still going through and you're trying to get out of, and I commend you for that, and good luck with that as well. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. You said 20 something years. So it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing.
Wow.
Right.
My sister, I hope you do let and release that book, because you got to turn your pain, pleasures, and passion into some type of profit. You can't be in 27 years and don't manifest something out of that. I'm just saying.
And I'm like, I'm definitely going to be home for
a session, yeah.
Number reading, because I see numbers
all the time. Yeah. You damn near psychic, to tell you the truth. Your numbers tell me that. So, and what's so interesting, check out healatlanta.com also. She's very good. She has retreats for those type of removals. And that sister went through some trauma with her own mama, where her mother tried to kill her in the house.
Wow.
So yeah, she's a priestess that studied under Queen of Fu and various other people also, like Yendez. But healatlanta.com, that's the website. And tell her that when you contact her, tell her King Simon referred you, and she'll definitely help you out. And because she does a lot of parasitical removals, narcissistic parasitical removals, all that kind of stuff. Because you're probably definitely going to have to, leave soon. You're going to have to get out of here very soon.
Yeah.
That's how deep it's getting. Very soon. According to your numbers, yeah. Go ahead.
But you know what's so funny is that I'm moving to a new house one more thing I definitely have to state right now.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
When I was on my way to the house, I saw the number 1001. When I got to the house was 110.
What?
The zip code adds up to 11, and when I got in the car after seeing the house, I saw 1111.
Those are all your numbers, though. That 29 equals 11. Look at all the master numbers that keep on showing up. And that is the master number of revelations and you making revelatory moves in your life and visionary moves in your life. That's what every time you see those appearances, it's telling you got to make certain moves. Anytime you see a multitude of ones, remember one is the trailblazing number. That means you got to lead the trail out where sometimes you got to lead the trail and create the trail where people will follow you into where you got to go. So you got to think about, if you're constantly seeing those angel numbers and those type of numbers popping up, it's them talking to you, telling you what you need to do. And if you keep on, and I tell, angel numbers have duality, where it could be an angel number, and if you're not doing it at its highest potential, it could be a demon number, because you're becoming indecisive, you're second guessing yourself, all that type of stuff is happening. That's the other side of those angel numbers. You know what I'm saying? So you please, well, but thank you very much for calling in, my sister, and I hope you do a session with me, but also I want you to go and check out. Thank you. Thank my sister also for sharing her story, and thank both of you. All right, peace and love. Thank you. Wow, man, it's great. See, you help people. That's what it's all about. Help people. See, helping people help other people. When you're willing to help and tell your stories and show how you've gotten out of things, it can help other people. Just like hurt people hurts people. Yes. Heal people heal people. So you got it's the balance is necessary.
Right.
Man, that was good. That was good. I like that. I like the sister was willing to come out, being born on March 29th under that master number. And I want to share something with her real quick with that number, because in this old numerology book by Shiro, this book was written back in 1800s. And I got a lot of old ass books, I'll tell you the truth. And that 29 energy, it on its negative indicates, it says 29, this number indicates uncertainty, treachery, deception of others. It foreshadows trials and tribulations and unexpected dangers from unreliable friends, and grief and deception caused by members of the opposite sex. It gives grave warning if it comes out in anything concerning the future events. And that's the negative of the number. The positive of the number is where that person needs to have a vision board on how they're going to move, how they're going to move on in their life, how they're going to be different than what they've settled for in their life. So that 29 is a very significant number when you're born under. Michael Jackson was born under 29. One of Dr. Sabi's wives was born under 29, and various people that have been born under that 29 had to deal with that type of stuff. People like Chadwick Boseman is born under 29. Don Cheadle is born under 29. Those type of numbers always have to be careful of treachery and deceptions of others, and going through these trials and tribulation, unexpected dangers of unreliable friends, grief and depression caused by members of the opposite sex. They always have to do that. And this has been proven over the years. This book has been proven. That's why I tell you, I study patterns, and these kind of books are very good to understand, but also understanding the balance, the duality, because if you're not operating on its highest, you're operating on its lowest. And it's very important that if you're born under those 29 or born under those master number 11s or 22s, it's so important that you realize that with great power comes responsibility. With great power, and because those are master numbers, with great power comes responsibility. And if you're not operating on the high, it's going to take you down the low road where you'll be constantly second guessing yourself, complacent and docile and accepting the deception instead of growing out of it and learning to navigate away from the madness and the deception that people are trying to keep you under most of your life. 29. That's why, you know, but yeah, but well, my sis, I want to thank you very much. I hope you enjoy. Anything you wanted to say before we get off?
Hey, peoples. Hopefully, hopefully we'll do another one, you know, and another topic. You know, if anyone wants to go ahead and put down in the comments a topic that you want us to consider, that's all well and dandy. We can consider that and stuff and go on from here. Let's see what happens.
Well, hey, look.
I ain't nervous no more. I done did it now. I done did it now.
I'm glad you're in that cycle. Like I told you, you're in that expansion cycle from your 11th cycle going into your 3 cycle. So that's what it's all about. Growing and creating that vision to move forward. That 11th cycle coming into this 3-year cycle that you're going in, it's all about that movement, that constant movement, but seeing the farther vision. Like you can do this and you can accomplish this and you can do this. Don't get caught up in the illusions and delusions of this world when you are your own world, you're your own universe. So yeah, this was your first step. And usually a first step to 1,000,000 miles starts with the beginning. The first step, that's what it starts with. If you're going to walk 1,000,000 miles, it starts with that first step.
My cherry has been broken. My cherry has been broken.
Hey, don't say it like that, girl. I'm your brother. Don't say it. But I'm going to share this with our Father. I'm going to share this with our Father. So, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to share it with him because he needs to see this. He needs to see this. And I think it's very important that he sees his two children from 2 different mothers working together. And really, and yes, people are asking if I'm doing any more readings. Yes, even while I'm on the road. Right now I'm down in Florida. I'm heading over to Texas to celebrate my birthday with my son, who's also born in February. And yeah, I'm still doing sessions. All you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth. There is a new consultation rate, but there's dog fighting going on the outside here. I don't know what's happening on the outside of me right now, you know, but I'm going to have to bark back at their ass soon. You know, let them know. But so those who want to text me their full name and date of birth, let me change the number on this screen so y'all can see. Don't text me at this number here. I'm going to rename that text. You can text me at 347-496-496. 1022. That's the number you could text me at. That's 347-496-1022. You see it right there near my name, King Simon. Text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. I have a new advertisement rate that you can, and it's worth it. Whatever you do, all of the sessions are recorded and it will be emailed to you so you can listen back to yourself and listen back to what questions you ask me. And make sure you ask me the questions. Don't just expect some kind of reading. I really don't do readings. I do consultations to give you guidance with your numbers to help guide you to the highest level of your numbers so you can use it to your best and your wisest. So you know yourself. I don't need to read anybody. I just need to help show you why your numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves, and how numbers are here to give you that pinpointed guidance of where you need to go in each year, in each month, in your name, the talents and gifts that you have, whether you use it or not. You can have all the talent in the world through your numbers and birth, but if you don't choose to use it because of mommy issues or daddy issues, that's why my book is called Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. Numbers are simple. 1 + 1 is 2. But if that one and that other one is not working together and communicating with each other to produce that balanced love, then of course there's going to be problems in relationships. And yes, I do compatibility sessions also. Compatibility sessions is a different price, but it's worth it when you really want to stay in a relationship with that person. And I really would rather read people. I really would rather do a consultation for people that's at least over a year, heading into 3 years or 2 years. Not somebody that y'all just fan and you trying to find out what
6 months.
Yeah, a few days, and you gotta find out. You got 3. I have people send me 3 different women's name or 3 different men's name, and which one is better for me? I'm like, come on now, because first of all, all my compatibility sessions, everybody has to be on the line. So I want both of y'all to hear this stuff because I'm going to be raw, straight to the point. I'm going to point out your weaknesses and your strength and your madness. If it's dealing with men and their madness, if it's dealing with women and their madness, that's what I'm going to point out. Right. It's just what I'm going to do. So 347-496-1022. I am doing sessions over the phone. 347-496-1022. And when my sister get this business off the pop, this service business off the ground, we're going to pop it off right and make sure everything is right. Exactly. All right. All right, sis?
Yes, bro.
I love you.
I love you too.
And I'm so proud of you for doing this for the first time in front of 20 or more, 30 or more people. And this is going to go up to at least 100 or more, or even 200 or 300 more people going to be watching. It's all about the views. And you wanted to say anything to the audience before we get off?
No, just thank you for tuning in. What was Russell Simmons' line? Thank you for coming out. Good night. That's
good night. It's funny that you do that because Russell Simmons was a Libra also. So let's not forget that. He born October the 4th.
Coming out. Good night. No.
He born October 4th. So that's very interesting that you would do that goodbye.
Yeah.
All right, family, I love you. I respect you. My sister is going to be out of here first, since I can shut this out. So I'm going to shut you out of here, sister, real quick.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right, peace. Let me just make sure this is to remove you. All right. Yes, okay, and let's do it. Yeah, that was my sister. That was my sister, Empress K, in the way doing her thing. And yeah, we're gonna do it again. I don't know if it's gonna be a weekly thing. We probably try to do monthly thing to see how things pan off. The first Tuesday of the month will be good. The first Tuesday of the month. So I'm proud of her for taking this first step. Believe me, she was nervous about doing this. She was nervous about doing this. And that's what I try to tell people. When I see greatness in your numbers and I expect you to do great things. And sometimes you got to break the habit of those traumas and break the habits of not doing things. And sometimes it takes 21 to 22 days to break a habit. But if you follow or listen to what I have to say in a consultation, they will help you. A sister called me today and I told her about her being in a pregnancy cycle, either pregnant with children or pregnant with new business. And not only was she pregnant with children, she was also pregnant with new business. So I got to show her respect for even calling me and letting me know all that kind of stuff. I was like, whoa. So it's real. These cycles and seasons that the numbers reveal, it's real. It's real. And if you decide to use them, not for them to control you, but for them to make you a better person, make you rise higher to the highest occasion of those numbers, the highest vibration of those numbers, because they don't control you. Astrology, numerology don't control you. They give you guidance to show you where you need to go and how you go. I focus more on the numbers, although I mentioned astrology in my chart, but if you do need readings from astrologer or cosmophysicists like Ra Aku, or astrologers like Quiet Storm, or other people like Sister Myrrh, or different other people, I'll send you a list of numerologists and astrologers. If you can't do me, if you can't work with me at one point, because sometimes I'm traveling in between, because I travel by bus. I like bus. I'm not able to fly yet, but when I am able to fly, you will not see me probably for a year, but you'll still be able to get in contact with me via email and social media. But I'm telling you, once this passport come through, because it will, that's the next manifestation, because I used to fly as a child all the time. Once this passport come through, I am going to Africa, Caribbean. I'm going all over the world because I need to. And I miss traveling in a plane and doing all that kind of stuff. So, but I've been traveling from bus and car and train if I have to. That's what I use right now. But as soon as I get everything straight with the passports and traveling documents, I'm going to be on the flight again. So one love, people, one aim, one destiny. Respect to all of you that tuned in. I want to thank all of you for coming out and enjoying. And please text me your full name and date of birth to the number that's near King Simon. That's 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Once you text me, things will be set, because remember, this is a mathematical thing. So remember that I break down math. So I actually have to prepare it. So usually your session will be done, or you will be responded to within 24 to 72 hours. And then we can set up the schedule after you send the funds. And I will text you what you need to do, where you can go through, whether it's Cash App or PayPal. And once you send the funds, then we can set up the schedule, set up the appointment, and we make it happen. But I'm serious about what I do. I come from all over my heart when it comes to this number stuff. That's why I created Numerovation, because I learned to motivate you with the numbers. Motivation with the numbers. Whether you accept it or not, it's there to give you guidance. So on my way out, I'm on my way out. I want to thank every one of you for tuning in. I want to thank all of the family. I want to thank, of course, my sister, Empress K, for being a part of this first broadcast we did. And more than likely, we're going to try to do the first Tuesdays of the month. That'll probably be the best thing, to first Tuesday, because she's a very busy young lady. I'm a very busy man. And, you know, this family stuff, I might bring a few other of my siblings in. I might bring Ann and bring Dwayne and bring my sister Nicole if she's down to come on, or my brother Daniel, definitely, because he's a musician, and I definitely want to bring in, feature all his music. And if my other sister Leah wants to come in, hey, I'll bring you a siblings chat. It's a sibling side chat. That's what it is. So it's all about relating to you as brothers and sisters, and you relating to your brothers and sisters, and so on and so forth. So going to keep it moving. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Love y'all, respect y'all. And remember, KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, King Simon Productions on Instagram, King Simon Prod on Twitter, King Simon on Facebook, and King Simon on LinkedIn. One love, one aim, one destiny. Peace. And we're out of here. We end this.